Hello, and welcome to Containment Breach 3-minute meets, which are never 3 minutes. And for a great time, watch all of them. Subscribe to Fugitive Poems on YouTube, where you will see two other interviews. There was actually one interview that went so long that we made two parts out of Matt Battaglia, who we're going to talk to today. Matt, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Matt can be found in Containment Breach Volume 2, which is how we met. Containment Breach Volume 1 is Quarantine Chronicles. Containment Breach Volume 2 is Myth Reborn, available on fugitivepoems.com. Matt Battaglia did a terrific story with Nicholas Punamale called Catalyst, which was based on a wild prompt, and they came up with such a cool story. And we were so taken with Matt and Brian Beardsley. Their inks were so beautiful and detailed that both of them were asked not to color their stories. The only black and white stories in Containment Breach Volume 2, because we didn't want to lose the incredible quality and detail work or muddy it in any way. And Matt and I got to talking on a 3-minute breach, and Matt's one of my favorite people. So we're going to talk about what Matt's been got going on, and what Matt's thinking about, what his influences are. We're going to see where it goes. Matt, it is so awesome to be talking to you again today. Since last we spoke, which was about it was 2021, I believe. Since last we did one of these, maybe it was 2022. I don't remember. No, 2021.
Yeah, I have no memory. I think it was 21.
Yeah, because Volume 2 came out beginning of 2022.
Yep.
You've been busy as hell, and I'm annoyed with myself. I realized I left Leap M upstairs in my my other book.
I got it.
You got it?
I totally forgot that happened too.
Leap M was a project you did with Doug Wood. There it is. So annoyed I couldn't find it. And it is terrific. It's a brilliant sci-fi story. It's actually the first time I ever saw Matt's work. And when Matt applied for Containment Breach Volume 2, I sat there looking at his email for like 30 seconds and finally went, Leap M, because I had been so taken with the work when I read that. So you want to show that book, if you would, because
we kickstarted that. We did. It was published by Action Lab, and then Action Lab did what Action Lab did, if anyone remembers that, and then and then we kickstarted it last year. I think it was last year.
Yes.
It might. I can't remember anymore. But yeah, I still have some copies. But yeah, I have to put them on my site for sale or something.
I'd gotten it from Action Lab digitally, and I remember I was in a hotel in Lake Saranac. It was during quarantine, or right at the end.
Yes.
We wanted to take a vacation, so we went to a place where we could hike with no one around, because death was everywhere in the air. And I remember the family went to bed, and I'm sitting there on my tablet, zooming in. I didn't want to acknowledge yet that my eyes were going, zooming in on every frame. And the next day, actually, this is funny, I hadn't thought of it. The next day, Heather ran into a deli to get breakfast sandwiches, and I sat in the car with the kids talking because there were 3 pages that I wanted to go over again. I was so taken with, and I didn't know who the hell you were then. And then Matt applied for Containment Breach Volume 2, and I couldn't be happier. And a friendship struck up, which thrills me to no end. And while all that's going on, Ghosts of the Carousel comes out, and you can get this at dauntless.com. And it is one of my favorite. It's all Matt Battaglia, written and drawn, and it came with these very cool.
You won't get those on Dauntless. It's only if you see me at a show, I have prints.
But it is absolutely gorgeous. Matt's work takes me. I'm just so taken with it every time I look at it. And Matt now has had other stuff going on. So I wanted to give a little introduction of what Matt Battaglia was up to when last we spoke. So Ghosts of the Carousel Go to dauntless.com. You can get it there. And I'm telling you, you want it. It's a great, beautiful read. So since then, you have stopped completely and not doing anything. Not at all.
I finished another graphic novel called House on Fire. It's double the length of Ghosts of the Carousel. It's going to come out, well, I guess when this is out, it'll have been out. It's coming out April of 23.
Yep, it's
So
out.
Living the Line is publishing it. Should be out in stores, Amazon, Barnes Noble, wherever. And this was I mean, I'm really proud of this book. I think it's another like leap forward for me. And it's definitely the most ambitious thing that I've done. It's the longest thing I've completed, and so it's you know, it's sort of a road story, which I think is I think that's a genre, but it's very much. I don't want to say too much about it because it is you know, I don't want to give too much of it away, but similar to Ghosts, I do leave a lot up for the reader to interpret and to try to bring as much of yourself into the book as possible. You know, it's, and I think that it's a reflection on over of the past few years, and it's definitely, you know, I guess it falls into a sort of a not quite post-apocalyptic, but I'm trying to do what I think a lot of sci-fi does really well, which is, you know, take our current life and sort of filter it through and see what comes out, basically. You know, I don't know how to talk about it because it's you know, the story itself, the plot is pretty simple.
Right. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of how to describe it without giving anything away. It's not post-apocalyptic. It's post-crisis.
Yeah,
Where
it's near future.
yeah, where the world has greatly changed, but not in any ways we can't understand, just ways we would hope it wouldn't. Matt, I was lucky enough to have Matt sending me pieces of it while he was producing it. And every time I got it, I wanted more. I was so not out of what he sent me, like additional. Make it better. No, every time he sent pages, I wanted more pages. It's your work is visceral. That's to me, that's
Thanks.
the right work. Your work is not brutal. Work is not shiny. It's visceral. I feel it. I experience it as I'm reading it. You know what? So rather than give away House on Fire, how would you explain Ghost of the Carousel? You're like, crap, I wish you hadn't asked me.
I don't know. You know, again, that Ghost was really a sort of meditation on grief, like loss and overcoming those things. So I think that to me, these books that are sort of solo works are very much trying to puzzle through whatever's going on in the world or personally at any given time, and filter it through like art, which is I you know, I guess it makes it a harder sell. I mean, House on Fire is, I think that if I were to put it like House on Fire feels like it would fit alongside like a movie like Dragged Across Concrete, or like just any of those smaller sort of small, it's like a small scale drama, and it all builds up to a, you know, a violent encounter that is, you know, it that's inescapable. And so I don't think that's giving anything away because it's sort of shown in the first 3 pages.
You know, it's funny.
But you know, it's you know, taking all of these sort of fears and thoughts and sort of boiling it down to the simplest of possible stories. and both Ghosts and House on Fire have a lot of, I would say, like autobiographical things in them that if you know me personally, you might be able to pick them out, but they're certainly by no stretch autobio comics, if that makes sense. House on Fire is also just like it's a goodbye to the city, in a way, and in some ways it's a reckoning with why you'd leave the city today. So which we just did. So
and there's the autobio part. You mentioned Dragged Across Concrete, and the minute you said that, I had to look up a movie because I couldn't remember the title. Vince Vaughn, the movie he did before that,
Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Brawl in Cell Block 39.
Yeah.
99. What is it? Like, damn it,
Yeah.
don't make me put my glasses on. 99. That is almost your aesthetic in some ways, not completely at all, but there's that influence of that feeling is yeah, that's funny. You said Dragged Across Concrete, and I went, wait a minute, no, Brawl feels right.
Yeah. Brawl is smaller, so it's definitely and I like his movies. Zoller is the director. I like those three movies. Yeah, they're a little bit more they're more gruesome than I usually I go. But yeah, I like that style of story where it's and I think with a lot of things that I'm working on, and the sort of the next project that I've been writing notes on, and hopefully by the time this is airing, I'll have layouts done for it. But it's also similarly, it's a small thing. It'll be dealing more with technology. I've been sort of existentially worried about AI art, and as nice as some of the things the internet and technology has given us, I fear the sort of the metaverse. I'm worried about kids running around with Oculus glasses on and sort of not living in the real. So that's the next book will be sort of at least unless my mind totally changes. That's I think that's the sort of the next topic that I'm really interested in. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, and I guess and it's true of it's why I like House on Fire. Like it's all even the tones are all like I did those on an overlay, so it's as much by hand as possible. And I think that and the for my story in volume four.
Yep. Of Clouds and Ether, Containment Breach.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of wanted to do, because of the themes, like I just wanted to draw like a big space thing and just fling a bunch of ink and use a bunch of whiteout, because that was, I think that when I was doing this, I was feeling very doom and gloom for reasons, I guess. I don't know why. And that was, but then two, I really just wanted to draw space, because I think that allows for a lot of like ink to just get to throw a lot of ink on a page.
I don't know why I can't do this right now. I'll do speaker. There we go. I gave you the full screen. Can you show those pages again? They're absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Look at the detail in there. It's stunning. This is a story called Repent, which is his story, Matt's story in volume 4, Containment Breach volume 4. The ink, and you just said ink and whiteout. So I'm a non-artist. Tell me what you mean by that.
Just ink and little white to cut into the ink, and that was really.
So your base is black, and you then color in with white.
No. I mean, like I had to cut in a little white, but no. I mean, like I don't fill in the whole page black. That would be
okay.
Thick though.
That's what I thought. I was like, I didn't think that's what you did, but I'm no artist.
And like spattering and stuff, and it just was and I drew things bigger than I usually work just for the heck of it, you know. But I want to play with
Can you show that last page again, where he's coming straight toward the front, the
yeah,
reader?
I thought that one was cool.
Oh man, gorgeous work.
So, I think and I guess I was feeling sort of religious about it or something.
Well, it is called Repent.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like you're with all of these, with Ghost, with House, with this story, with Repent, you kind of go through different phases in life, and then what you make reflect that. And then sometimes it's hard to even remember what sparked any ideas that you have at any given moment. Like sometimes like you're exercising those demons that or those thoughts, and then like once it's all out on the page, you kind of, at least you sort of, unless if I have like the idea written down somewhere, you kind of like, it's like a purge, and then you don't think about the stuff anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My wife is frequently horrified by some of the stuff that I write and come up with. And I find it very hard to explain to people that what I'm writing about often is my deepest terrors. It's the stuff that upsets me the most. It's the stuff I don't want to think about, but I've got OCD. And one of the ways that it manifests in me is the minute I think I don't want to think about that, my brain goes, well, guess what's the main show today? And writing helps me get it out. I mean, she's like, why do terrible things happen to kids in your stories? I'm like, because that's my nightmare. That's my nightmare. And I think about it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make it gruesome and fun or weird or whatever, and then find some kind of victory in there. Things that weigh on me. I don't do autobiographical in any obvious way in my writing. I don't want to think. I lived my life. The day is over. I don't want to go through it. I don't want to think about my past. But the themes are. So I like to come up with the wildest concepts I can. But the themes are the themes of my life, the things that I'm thinking about that are bothering me, that are troubling me. And so I get that. Let me ask you this. Who are the comic creators? Last time we spoke, we talked about Barry Windsor Smith. We had both just gotten Monsters.
Okay, yeah. Which I still haven't finished reading. It's so freaking bleak. I mean, that's
same here.
Oh God, it's I mean, it's beautifully drawn, but damn, it's a hard read.
Yeah, absolutely. So thinking about what you do, who are the creators, writers, because you do both. You do everything. In fact, you do the coloring, you do the inks, you do the lettering. Who are the creators out there that you sort of look to? Like this is the sphere I'm in.
Well, Paul Pope. I just got this print recently.
Oh, can I see?
It's
what's that
did
from?
It for I mean, it's a Lone Wolf and Cub.
It is.
So I it did it. It was like a New York Comic Con exclusive, and I guess they had some the screen print, some extras that they sold online. So I grabbed it. I got it in a nicer frame, but Paul Pope's a constant. What the heck else am I looking at right now? I've been reading more manga recently. Oh, I guess like Hugo Pratt. Also,
Who was that?
Hugo Pratt. I mean, we talked about some Cordo last time, but I've been reading more manga recently. So been reading this one. It's Matsumoto. He does I think he did that ping pong book. I really like his style. It's like very pen and kind of shaky, and I dig it.
Well, I don't know.
Reading,
what's his name again?
Matsumoto, Taiyo Matsumoto. This book's called Number 5. The story is, but the art's really cool. What else am I reading? Let's see. Oh, I really like this Sean Knickerbocker. He's got a few other books. Um, did one, I think it's called Rust Belt. That was a really good little anthology. It's like one man anthology. I haven't finished reading this yet, but I grabbed it at SPX this year.
Great.
But it's again like it's small slice of life stuff that I think is really good. He did one story in Rust Belt, basically about a guy who goes like it becomes like a political influencer on Instagram or something, and it just hit really well, I thought, and I thought it was pretty insightful. But like his cartooning is really nice, and let's see what else is in there. His cartooning I really enjoy. So I've been reading this Paramus, which is
cool.
Alberto Brescia, and I really like his. If you're not familiar with his art, but it's pretty wild. But it's a really interesting piece of sort of, I guess it's it's political ish.
I was circling that. The
It's
City
good.
in Oblivion, right?
Yeah, it's really good. It's one of those things though, like I wish I knew where are they? I can't remember where they're from. They're from
Brescia is an Italian name.
yeah, they're from Argentina.
Oh,
or
okay.
or the
Yeah.
I think so. I wish I knew more about the history, the actual history of what was going on in Argentina at the time, because it's what it's a clear commentary on. So I feel like I'm missing some necessary or not necessary, but like I'm missing some context that I think would help me appreciate the story more. But
so he was born in Uruguay and died in Buenos Aires.
Okay. So it's good. It's I'm really interested in sort of books and art that has something to say, but does it in an interesting fashion. Like I just I'm not outside of artists that I'm really interested in. I can't. I need to read stuff, or I'm looking for stuff that has something of value to add for me. Like I can't, or I'm not super interested in like popcorny stuff right now.
Right.
Like you know I guess it's just like I haven't read any Marvel or DC books in years at this point, and it's just I don't think they have anything to offer me, and they haven't in a long time. And that's not necessarily like I wish I could, because I love John Romita Jr.'s art, but like there was a time when I would go out and buy his like he's back on the Spider-Man, and there was a time when I just buy it just for his art, but I just can't even, I just don't care. And so I'm looking for other things now, and that's really been exciting for me.
Manga? What brings you to manga? Is that something you always liked, or
it's been a blind spot. It's been a blind spot for me, and so reading, I'm just trying to catch up on some of that stuff, and I'm looking to see if I have anything else that's interesting over here. There's a bunch of SPX stuff in that box, but I hadn't read much manga, and I wanted to sort of see what it's about. I mean, this one, like I said, the story's kind of whatever, but I really like his art.
right?
And this volume was cheaper than buying Ping Pong. So,
and then now we see how decisions are truly made, as they should be. Matt, thank you so much for talking with us today and sharing all this information.
Thanks for having me on.
It was cool to find out about your process and where your process is taking you. I've got it. I got to tell you, Matt Battaglia is doing things that you want to see. Matt Battaglia is someone who's going to keep doing them. I have huge hopes and beliefs about Matt's future. Matt is a creator I am very impressed with, and he's also a hell of a guy. So go
Appreciate
get
that.
House on Fire. It's pre-order. You can order it at Amazon and Barnes and
Yep.
Noble. It's in comic book shops. House on Fire from Living the Line. Is that the name of the publisher?
That's correct.
Okay. Goes to the carousel. You go to dauntless.com. You can get it digitally, but you want print. You want to hold this and you want to put it up to your face and look to all these incredible lines. And Leap M with Doug Wood, with the great Doug Wood, which he did. Doug Wood is a wonderful, wonderful person. And am I forgetting anything?
I think that's it right now.
Okay, well, right
Who-
now,
who knows where we'll be next year.
so right now, when you're watching this, there is more. Matt, where should they find Matt?
MattJbat.com or on any social media. It's at MattJbat. Two T's in both.
That's what I was going to ask you. Matt
Yeah.
J Batt, MattJBatt. .com is your website. Folks, go there. Go there. What I want you to do is I want you to like this video. I'd say as many times as possible, but only one is possible. I want you to subscribe to Fugitive Poems for more incredible creator content like this. Go to mattjbat.com to see where Matt's at. There's a ton of incredible stuff coming out of these projects, and you're going to love them. Some incredible indie comics. We are Fugitive Poems, and we make comics.